Hello everyone, I am Divya Bharati, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. So we are discussing the subject name as Marketing Management. So the subject code is BA4207. So here from the unit 2, the next topic is we are discuss now. So now the subject topic is environmental scanning. So the environmental scanning is from internal and external. So environmental scanning refers to, what do you mean by environmental scanning? So environment is consists of both external and internal factors. So environment must be scanned as to determine development and forecast the factors that will influence organization success. It helps the managers to decide the future path of the organization. So scanning must identify the threats and opportunities existing in the environment. It helps the managers to decide the future path of the organization. Scanning must identify the threats and opportunities existing in the environment. And at the same time, during the strategy formulation, an organization must take advantage of the opportunities and minimize the threats. The threat for one organization may be an opportunity for another. So it refers to the possession and utilization of information about occasions, patterns, trends, and relationships with an organization's internal and external. It is the process of collecting, evaluating, and delivering the information for a strategic purpose and is defined as environmental scanning. And the process of environmental scanning requires both accurate and personalized data on the business environment in which the organization is operating or considering and entering. So the next one is components of environmental scanning. So what are the components of environmental scanning? That is internal environmental components and the external environmental components. So what do you mean by internal environmental components? So the components that lie within the organization are internal components, and changes in these affect the general performance of the organization. Human resources, capital resources, and technological resources are some of the internal environmental components. External environmental components, the components that fall outside the business organization, are called external environmental components. Although the components lie outside the organization, they still affect the organization activities. The external components can be divided into micro environmental components and the macro environmental components. So the external components can be divided into micro components and macro environmental components. So what do you mean by micro environmental components? And it includes competitors, consumers, marketers, suppliers, organizations, etc. And the macro environmental components include political, legal, cultural, demographic, and technological factors. Then the techniques of environmental scanning. So there are we have scanned the environmental organization environment by different techniques. So the first one is SWOT analysis, that is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats of the organization. And PEST is PEST, political, economic, social, and technological. And ETOP is environmental threat and opportunity and profile. And QUEST is quick environmental scanning technique. So these are the some of the techniques followed for the environmental scanning, and we are discussed about the next session. Then what is meant by process of environmental analysis? So the process of every environmental analysis with the 4 types. The first one is scanning, monitoring, forecasting, and assessment. So scanning, what do you mean by scanning? The process of analyzing the environment to spot the factors that may impact the business is known as environmental scanning. It alerts the enterprise to take suitable strategic decisions before it reaches the critical situation. So monitoring. The next one is the data is gathered from various sources and is utilized to monitor and find out the trends and patterns in the environment. The main sources of collecting data are spying, publication, talks with customers, suppliers, dealers, and employees. Then forecasting. Forecasting is estimating the future events based on previously analyzed data is known as environmental forecasting. Assessment. In this stage, the environmental factors are assessed to identify whether they provide an opportunity for the business or pose a threat. So next we have discussed the whole business environment. So already we discussed about the environment is classified into two. So that is internal environment and external environment. So internal environmental consists of value system, mission, then finding the objectives, then organizational structure, corporate culture, quality of the human resource, labor unions, physical resources and technological capabilities. And the external environmental is classified into two, micro and macro. The micro environment is inside the organization. So inside the organization, micro is organization, then customers, competitors, market suppliers, intermediators, that is the micro. Then macro environment is economical, political, technological, global, social, cultural and demographic. So the purpose of the scan is the identification of opportunities and threats affecting the business for making strategic business decisions. As a part of the environmental scanning process, the organization collects information regarding its environment and analyzes it to forecast the impact of changes in the environment. So this eventually helps the management team to make informed decisions. So, from this diagram, the environment scanning should primarily identify the opportunities and threats in the organization's environment. Once we are identified, the organization can create a strategy which helps in maximizing the opportunities and minimize the threat. So, before looking at the important factors of for environmental scanning, let's take the quick peek of the components of an organization environment. So as you see about the internal environment of an organization consists of the various elements like mission, objectives, structure, quality of the employee, labor union, that is all inside in the organization. These elements lie within the organization and any changes to them can affect the overall success of the business. On the other hand, an organization cannot operate vacuum. Also, there are many factors outside the walls of an organization which affects the functions of the business. These factors constitute the external environment of an organization. So, the internal environment offers strength and weakness to business, while the external environment brings the opportunity and threats. The four influencing factors are known as SWOT. So, what do you mean by strength? Strength is an inherent capacity. Strength is an inherent capacity of an organization which helps it gain a strategic advantage over its competitors. So, weakness is an inherent constraint or limitation which creates a strategic disadvantage for a business. Then, opportunity, a favorable condition in the organization's environment, enabling it to strengthen its position. Threat, an unfavorable condition in the organization's environment causing damage to the organization. So, the next is PESTEL, so political, economic, social, and technological. So, what do you mean by political? Political is nothing but it is the these factors include the effect, the extent and impact of the government on the economy of a country. For example, the laws, taxation, policies, monetary policies, etc. are all the part of the political environment. So, additionally, some political factors to consider as follows: political stability of the country, then political ideologies, taxation, regularity practices and governing bodies, the government and any expected changes in the future, and approaching political leaders and their ideas. The next one is economic. So, economic factors have a huge effect on the firm and its success. So, some of the factors to consider when monitoring the following environment are economic growth, current phase of the trade cycle, inflation rates, unemployment rates, then current interest rates prevailing in the economy, important factors of the specific country's industry, consumer spending potential. The next one is social. Social is everything that goes on in society greatly affects the organization. Therefore, it is important to analyze social factors while studying the social environment. For example, demographics of the market, consumer buying patterns, religious and cultural factors, state and influence of the media, lifestyle trends in the place at the time. Then fourth one is technological. The changes in the technological environment can be either an opportunity or a threat to the firm. Hence, some technological factors to look for are new production technology, manufacturing technology. So, manufacturing technology includes increase in output, lowering of production cost, and extra. The new innovations, intellectual property, patents, rights, and maturity of the technology. So improvement is technology is creation of new ideas. Then legal, this refers to the laws made by the government that the company has to follow in order to continue its operations. For example, business laws, environment laws and guides, health and safety guidelines, international trade agreements and treaties, regional or local laws and circulars. Then environment. These factors affect industries that their ability to function smoothly. For example, such factors are environmental issues, energy and power consumption, insurance policies, safe waste disposal, dealing with the hazardous material. So these are the PESTEL analysis. The next topic is marketing interface with the other function areas. So production. So what are the function areas like production, finance, human relations management, and information system. So what do you mean by production? So production is production departments. The things the production department going as the production and logistics functions within the business need to work in cooperation with the marketing department. So here the production or operations include many other activities such as warehousing, packaging and distribution. In order to production is where goods and services are generated and made. For example, an aircraft is manufactured in a factory, which in its effect how is it is produced, that is production. So logistics is concerned with getting the product from the production or warehousing to retail or the consumers in the most effective and efficient way. Today logistics would include warehousing, trains, planes and lorries, as well as technology used for real-time tracking. The next one is finance. So finance is nothing but this department will need to work closely with the finance department. There is an adequate budget to meet the needs for research, promotion and distribution. The finance department has a whole organization brief to ensure that all the business operates within its financial capabilities. They will want all the departments to work within the allocated budget. The marketing department is likely to concentrate on sales volume and building market share, while the finance department may be more focused on cash flow, covering cost and paying back investment as quickly as possible. The next one is human resource management. So recruit the employees, filling the gap. They other functional responsibilities, well-being, employee motivation, health and safety, performance management. Of course, the function holds the knowledge regarding the legal aspects of human resources, their personal maintaining the personal profile, a job description, then advertising the job, and they may offer to assist the interview and will support you as to make your job offer, and HR to organize an induction for your new employee. Of course, there is the other side of the HR sometimes has to get tough with the underperforming employees. These are the operations of HR. Then information management. So the IT field, the information technology from the websites, then intranets and extranets. So here the familiar with the IT or information technology, it defines the consider the elements such as computer software, information system, computer hardware such as the screen you are looking at, and programming languages. For our part, as marketers, we are concerned with how technology is used to treat information. So obviously this is a huge field, but for our part we need to recognize the importance of websites, intranets and extranets to the marketer. So website is an electronic object which is placed on the internet. So often websites are used by business for a number of reasons, such as to provide information to customers. So the customers can interact with the product, customers can buy a product, and more importantly customers begin to build a long-term relationship with the marketing company. So information technology underpins and supports the basis of customer relationship management, a term which is investigated in the IT field. So continued. Thank you.